Hello punters and welcome to another Saturday racing preview. Of course, in this video we're looking at the Golden Eagle race day at Rosehill. It's going to be a real nice card, to be honest. It's a nice feature card to complement the Derby day at Flemington. Look, I'm of the personal opinion that I think it's fantastic that we've got this other race up at Rosehill. I mean, they'll be racing in between each other. The people in New South Wales get down to Rosehill, still enjoy the great Derby day, but also a nice race day at Rosehill. I think it's fantastic that we have both states having terrific racing on. It just gives us more to consume and more to punt on. So for me, I think it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So look at this, the card tomorrow at Rosehill. It's a good 4 track. The weather's fine. 9 races to get through. We'll get straight into it. Race number 1, 400 metre, 3-year-old benchmark 72, and it's quite a strong benchmark 72 to be honest. Look at the speed map in this one. Say Ferretti will spear out and try and find the top. Rule the World usually goes forward, and stay off the inside. Barrett will do. Special Snap from the outside will be up there running, and Autocratic will be close enough to the speed as well. So a little bit of pace in the race, which makes it, I think it just sets up perfectly for my horse here. Number 3, Betcha Fly, I think is the one to beat here. Looks to get the perfect run of the race. It was so good last time out behind Akari. It was really stiff not to win that race. It really should have won. Prior to that, it did pretty well at Canterbury in a benchmark 64 there behind Sangria. Carried 6.5 kilos on that occasion. I think third up here, at the 1400 once again comes to Rosehill. I think this horse will be really hard to beat. It looks mapped to be perfect, get the perfect run of the race. So I think it'll be really hard to beat at the $5. If a second, number 4 Ferretti, well, I mean, you don't get a first up performance much better than it did first at the Kensington track where it beat Bondi Blue by 2.5 lengths, and it went finishing that Diamond Thunder race. And I mean, for me, that's going to be a very good form race. Diamond Thunder, I think, is one of the top 3-year-olds around at the moment, in my personal opinion. They've obviously got the ones down at the Coolmore, which they're the real top liners, and then Diamond Thunder's probably that next one underneath. So I think that form is very good to bring into this, but it's not going to have an easy time on the speed. So $2.90, a little bit skinny for me, but I'm happy to have it in for second. In for third, number 11, IndyCar for Anthony Cummings, Tommy Berry in the saddle. This horse was a pretty good first up win at Newcastle. It goes from a maiden grade up to a 72, and a strong 72 as well. But it couldn't have done much more on that Newcastle maiden. I thought it was quite strong, and there's a bit of improvement there to come. So I think this horse can run well at the $8. And then in for fourth for me, I want to give a chance to number 7, Special Snap here. James McDonald in the saddle, wide barrier. It's going to be coming across, find its way to the front. Was in that same race as Betcha Flying here. I can't see it turn the tables. I think it could still run a good race regardless and be in the top 4. So recap the numbers for me. I'm pretty happy to bet number 3, Betcha Flying here. I think it's one of the better bets off the card at the $5. In for second, number 4, Ferretti at $2.90. In for third, number 11, IndyCar. And in for fourth, number 7, Special Snap. Moving on to race number 2, over 1,200 metres, 3-year-old class 3 plus highway. Look at the speed map here. A lot of speed in this race. It's going to be a very fastly run highway race here. Looking at Coupe de Main, Art of Dance, Plonker, Cat Gully Red, Pauldron, Feely off the inside barrier. We're getting forward, so there's a lot of speed in this, and I think it'll set up real nice for Zardoro here to chase on from the back of the $6.50. Tommy Berry in the saddle. I think it was a pretty good performance first up on Field the Night. I thought ran okay there. Comes to Rosehill. This horse loves Rosehill. So 4 starts the track for 2 wins and a placing. As I mentioned, just the race looks to set up perfectly for the back markers. I think this horse will charge over the top of them and be extremely hard to beat. So I've got it on top out of number 19, Upper House, who is paying some decent odds at the $23. Again, as I mentioned, the race will be on and be a pace to suit. If it comes into this first up, I think it can be a real top winning chance here at the $23. I think it's well over the odds. So I've got it in for second. In for third, number 9, Acquittal for Danny Williams and James McDonald in the saddle. First up was pretty good in that Field of Night highway race. Second up, stats aren't terrific. It's had 3 starts for just the 1 placing, hence why I want to have it as my third selection. And then in for fourth, number 6, Gumshoe. Will also appreciate the fast tempo, be able to run on from the back and perhaps be right in the finish. Was decent enough in that first up performance in that Field of Night race, but I like the 2 that I've got ahead of it. But for me, Zardoro is pretty hard to beat here at the $6.50, I think, so I'm going to have it on top. Ahead of number 19, Upper House, so I thought it was a bit of each way value. In for second, number 9, Acquittal, and then in for fourth, number 6, Gumshoe. Moving on to race number 3, 1500 metre, benchmark 88. Look at the speed map here. It's the Tui's 150th birthday handicap. Thy Kingdom Come and Turnberry will probably find the top, and I'd say that they'll be the ones that will be on speed and probably not too much pressure in the race. Look, I was relatively keen on Asterius here, but it's going to have to go back in the run more than likely. But for me, it's got the best form coming into this. It was very good behind Grey Worm first up at Randwick. Comes to Rosehill. It's won this track twice and placed 4 times from 9 starts. Second up stats are terrific. It's had 4 starts, second up for 2 wins and 2 placings. So I'm very confident this horse can be in the money. So $3.70, I'm happy to take it on. Just hoping for a bit of a positive ride. Hopefully it doesn't get too far back in the field. But going to have it on top out of number 4, Strome for Gary Portelli and Robbie Dolan in the saddle. It'll probably be... it was a bit back in the field first up last time at Randwick in a benchmark 88. Recent trial was really good, beat Zeusane in that trial, and comes to Rosehill. It's probably a bit much more of a Rosehill horse here, so I think this horse can improve off of that first up run and run a good race here. In for third, number 9, Superstar Bob, who I think be a decent enough chance. Ran in that Grey Worm race, was not too bad behind Asterius. I think it can run well again. And then in for fourth for me, number 6, Thy Kingdom Come, who will be up on the speed and give him something to catch up there. It was really good last time out in that Grey Worm race. So for me, just think that it comes to Rosehill here, where it's had 9 starts, the track for just the 1 win. So that's the reason why I didn't have it in my numbers in my top 3 this time around. But recapping the numbers for me, I'm quite keen on number 1, Asterius here, despite perhaps it getting back in the field in a potentially slowly run race. I think it would be the one to beat. It looks really good on paper, and I'm going to have a go at it, the $3.70. In for second, number 4, Strome. In for third, number 9, Superstar Bob. And in for fourth, number 6, Thy Kingdom Come. Moving on to race number 4, it's the Chandon S Handicap, 1100 metre benchmark 88 race once again. Look at the speed map of this one again. A lot of pace in this race. Sandbar, Agent Pippa, Cattersby, Discussion, Special Reward to try and go across the outside. Lumberg usually goes up towards the speed. So a lot of speed in this race, and as such, I think it's going to set up perfectly for number 5, Bo Ideal, who's been knocking on the door for a win. I think this will be the perfect chance for it. Had a recent tick over trial behind Jungle Eyes. So I thought it was a good trial at Warwick Farm. Prior to that, it was only 1.1 lengths behind Senior Fox. That race has been pretty good. Prior to that, it was under a length behind Spanish Dream. So it really has been knocking on the door for a victory, and I think this will be the time for it. It's going to just have so much pace in the race to come on into it and just finish over the top of him. So I'm happy to have it on top. For me, just based off the speed map, I think it'll be hard to beat. Ahead number 1, Sandbar, who's probably got the class on these, and contested the Camera House Sydney Stakes weight for age group 3 race first up, which was of course won by Deprive, and finished 5 lengths behind it. But that's obviously much better form than this, and its form last preparation reads pretty well as well. I mean, it was beaten by Gem Song first up last preparation, beaten by Prophet's Thumb, and then it went out for a spell. So, I mean, look, this horse has got a lot of ability on its side, and the class is over its rivals here. And $7.50 probably isn't a bad price, to be honest, from barrier 1, and they can have a few options there. They don't have to lead. They could sit in behind a box seat. So it's a horse that's got a decent enough chance. In for third for me, number 8, Lumberg, usually runs pretty well first up, and doesn't mind the Rosehill tracks. Have 4 starts for the 3 placings, but I think it can run well enough first up. Its trial bleeding into this was pretty good behind Pretty in Pink, so I'm happy to have it in for third. Then for fourth, number 4, Agent Pippa for me. I think it was pretty good last time out. Obviously winning at Randwick, beating November Man, just led all the way. Don't think it's going to have that much of an easy time this time around, but has winning form on the board. It has won here at Rosehill from the 1 start, so I think it'll be give them, of the on-pace runners, it'll be one of the ones to catch. But for me, look, I'm very keen to go with number 5, Bo Ideal here. The race sets up perfectly for it. I think it'll be extremely hard to beat. Ahead of number 1, Sandbar, in for second. In for third, number 8, Lumberg, and in for fourth, number 4, Agent Pippa. Moving on to race number 5, it's a 1200 metre Fillies and Mares benchmark 78, the Tab handicap. Look at the speed map in this one. I'd say the Dancehall Girl, Miss Invincible, will get forward. Free Hearted and Segalis will be relatively close to speed. Generals is usually far off, but look, I see the inside 2 barrier horses leading and pairing off, and the rest of them sort of chasing the tails from there. But look, I'm keen to go with the horse that's coming to this first up with a new trainer here, and it's number 3, Free Hearted. It's paying $23, which I think it's stupid odds, really. I mean, This horse had a decent trial leading in behind Autocratic at Warwick Farm. Prior to that, it was beaten by Street Life at Morphettville. It's got, before that run, it had a few average runs. It ran in the Group 3 behind Dallasan and beat Bellari at Moorfield in a benchmark 90. So if it returns to that sort of form, it could be winning this. And for me, I just think the $23 is massive overs. So I'm going to have an each way play at it on top for me. Ahead of number 5, Dancehall Girl, who I have a lot of respect for. Inside barrier is perfect for this horse to be out to roll. It was really good last time out. 2 starts back where it was one at Canterbury at $1.70 shot. Got beat in Trepidatious at Warwick Farm first up this preparation. Last run it was thrown to the deep end of the Tibby Stakes at Newcastle, beaten 5.5 lengths by Sweet Deal. But comes back here from the 1400 back to the 1200 metres. Be pretty hard to beat, I think, at the $3.60. So I've got it in for second. In the third, number 2, Miss Invincible. Again, it'll be up on speed. National will give it a good ride, and it's knocking on the door. It was pretty good behind Age of Pippa last time out. Has only never missed a top 4 finish so far this preparation, so I'm keen to have it in the numbers once again in for third. And then for fourth, for me, number 8, Jen Rules. I've always thought she's had a bit of ability, and first up here, coming off a couple of her recent trial was very good. And I think she might be a bit of a chance here first up, so I'm going to put her in the numbers. But for me, I'm just willing to go number 3, Free Heart here at the each way odds. I just think it's massively over the odds. It's drawn to potentially get at the run of the race. So I'll be interested to see how positive they are on it, but I think it can be just maybe knockout chance that $23 odds. If the second, number 5, Dancehall Girls, the definite danger, really hard to beat. If the third, number 2, Miss Invincible, and if the fourth, number 8, Jen Rules. Moving on to race number 6, it's the Rosehill Gold Cup over 2,000 metres, open handicap race. Look at the speed map here. I'd say that Harper's Choice and another $1 will find the top. Morton's Fork and Emperor's Way won't be far off. Chapata and Tally will be close enough as well. Look, I'm keen to be with Chapata here. I think it's the class horse of this race. $6.50 is a good price as well. Karen McAvoy in the saddle. It was pretty good last time out by an Admiral's Joker, and the Seymour Cup was way too short of a distance at 600. Gets out that 2,000 metres. Last time it was at the 2,000 metres, third up. It finished by a horse called the Autumn Sun, only 2.5 lengths off it. So for me, that's really good form to bring into this. If it can run something similar to that, it'll smash these. So I'm happy to have it on top. Ahead of number 10, Antilles, who's the Aidan O'Brien runner. And it's got a decent chance here first up as well. I really respect the form coming from Ireland. And but the interesting thing is it's had 4 starts at the 2,000 metres and never won. So maybe it might be something to watch second up. Not really sure what they're doing with this horse, but it might be something to look for a bit later on the line. Number 14, another $1. I thought was massive overs, $23. I mean, sorry, 21 now, but that's a crazy price for a horse that loves the 2,000 metres. Maybe had a couple of plain runs so far this preparation, but it's at less than ideal distances. This horse now finally comes up to the distance range that it is crying out for, and it's paying $21. Could definitely suggest an each way play at it, and I definitely will be having something each way. And I really advise anyone that's watching this to have a go at it, because I think it's just massive overs, to be honest. Number 14, another $1 for Chris Waller. Kathy O'Hara, I mean, the exact stats: 4 starts at the disc for a win and 3 placings, never missed a place. So I think it's got a well enough chance third up here at the 2,000 metres, so going to put it in for third. Then for fourth, number 9, the Candyman, who just hasn't been able to show his best form, but we know that if he can return to that Queensland form, he'll be hard to beat here. He comes up to his right distance range. He's had 5 starts at this distance range of 4 wins. Obviously, it was a bit disappointing last night behind Happy Clapper at the 2,000. He's going to have to improve off of that. If he comes to Rosehill, maybe a different track might change his fortunes, but just going to have him in because, you just never know. A horse like that could just pull it out of nothing. But look, I've left number 1 Tally out here, and just bear with me. $4 is a bit short for me. It was very good behind Happy Clapper last time out. I won't knock that. It does its best runs at Randwick though, not at Rosehill. So that's my only query here, and $4 is just a bit short for me. But look, it's an open race, but I'm very keen to be at number 7 Chapata here. I think it'd be hard to beat. Ahead of number 10 Antilles, in for second. In for third, number 14, another $1, as I mentioned, well over the odds. And in for fourth, number 9, the Candyman. The other one, look, Dealmaker's been thereabouts, but for me, just hasn't obviously won last 2 starts back at a benchmark 88, but tends to not be a winner. Tends to be around the mark, just not quite get it done. So for me, and Barrow 10, not for me. I wouldn't want to have it as an each way play. Moving to race number 7, and this is the Iron Jack Golden Eagle over 1,500 metres for the 4-year-olds. Terrific race. It is a cracking field. This could easily pass as a Group 1 race. So look at the speed map in this one. Sunlight and Brutal from the outside barriers. They hold the keys here. It's going to be interesting to see where they go, because Mizzy will punch out and find the top, you would think. Kosika Legend, it'd be interesting to see what this horse does off the inside barrier. For Seeker, Fun Fact, Gem Song, they're sort of all horses that do tend to like to go forward. So interesting race here. Now, I think that she's just huge overs here. Number 14, Sunlight. I mean, how is she 26? How is she $26? Like, I know that there's some really good chances in this, but she's just well over the odds. If she can find the front, she will give them something to chase down. I just think that's crazy odds about a mare that we know she's very, very good at winning these types of races. She's had 3 starts at the track for 2 wins and a placing. She obviously was in the Everest. She was only 4.4 lengths off the like Santana Lane. It's real top line form. She beat Santana Lane the start prior. It was 0.4 length off the Flying Nature Strip in Moonee Valley. Like, the form is just too good to knock, and I just can't understand why she's $26 and $6 a place. That's just too good to ignore. So I've got her on top. At number 14, Arcadia Queen, who she's got a huge chance here, but she is $3.10, which is very short. I mean, Sunlight beat her home in the Everest. So I mean, take from that what you will, but yeah, I wouldn't be backing Arcadia Queen at the $3.10 while Sunlight's at 26. I'll tell you that much. Number 2 is Classic Legend. Has a great chance here. I really like the barrier 1. I think it'll be nice and positive. His run in the Everest was very good. Prior to that, he was quite good around the likes of Brutal. He came second at Pirata, who goes around later on. We'll mention that soon. And in for 4th, just one of the visitors here, number 12, Never Know More, for Aidan O'Brien. I think this horse got a good enough chance here. It's got some decent enough form around Sir Dancelot in the UK in a Group 2 race there. Valid Point in the US. Some nice Irish form as well, beating Black Magic Woman, of course, first up at 60 kilos in a 3-year race there. That's some good form, and there's been a bit of a spruik around this horse. So $31 is probably a bit of overs as well. Could entertain an each-way spec, but it's a real open race. As such, I've gone with the value. Sunlight, $26, ridiculous price. So I'm going to have her on top for me. Head of number 15, Arcadia Queen, in for 2nd. In for 3rd, number 2, Classic Legend. In for 4th, number 12, Never Know More. Move on to race number 8. It's the Raceday Stakes over 1,300 metres. Again, a fantastic race, this one. Look at the speed map. Home of the Brave, Redouble, Easy Eddie, and Luromania. Probably your leaders, I would say. Parada's a bit of a sticky gate. So I'd be interested to see what they do with this horse and whereabouts he lands in the run. I hope he doesn't end up being too wide. That's my big worry here. But look, he's the class of the field, and just got to back him in here at the $2.80. I think he'll be hard to beat. He was pretty good in that Everest run. I know Trekking did beat him home there, but I think he'll improve massively off that. He didn't have a great barrier drawn there, as Trekking got a really nice run of the race. So I think that Parada can turn the tables here. Tommy Berry's going to have to produce a good ride, but I'm confident he can do it. So I've got it on top to beat number 2, Trekking, who, as I mentioned, was terrific in the Everest, finishing 3rd on that occasion. Prior to that, beating Ball of Muscle in the Sclarchy Stakes. So this horse is flying at the moment. Very good chance in for 2nd. In for 3rd, well, look, bit of a throw-up really here. I mean, Deprive is an interesting one. This horse comes to Rosehill for the first time. We know what its round week record's like, 6 from 6. How will it go at Rosehill? That's an interest. I'm going to put it in for 3rd, but I don't know about backhand. It's just, you've got to be a little bit careful with these things at the $6.50, but I do give it a decent enough chance. And another one who I want to give a bit of a shout for is number 8, Easy Eddie. Has run at this track 8 starts for 2 wins and 6 placings. Was a bit disappointing in that. Well, it actually wasn't that bad in that Deprive race, because they did swamp down the outside. It was only finished 2.3 lengths off there in the Camera House Sydney Stakes. Prior to that, was very good. Was very unlucky behind Piracy at Warwick Farm over the 1,000 metres. Should have won that race and carried 6.5 on that occasion. This horse will be much more improved, and it's a good $5 place chance. So I think you could definitely take that. Number 5, Lero Main, who has probably passed his best, but $16 is massive overs for him. His best form could go close here, and he's very good fresh, so I'm interested into how he can run. I think Fiesta has a chance at the $23. Champagne Cuddles, she's got a decent chance. So it really is an open race, but I'm keen to be with Pirado. I'm going to go with the class. I think it'll be hard to beat. And at number 2, Trek in for second. In for third, for me, I like the chance of number 6, Deprive, and in for fourth, number 8, Easy Eddie. Moving on to race number 9, it's the final race of the card, 1300 metre benchmark 78 race. Look at the speed map here. I'd say there'd be quite a lot of speed in this one. Oakfield Twilight, Destiny Zone, Spring Charlie, Charitera, Juventus, Prometheus, a lot of speed horses here. I think they'll all go forward and they'll set it up for these back markers. And I think number 3, Outrageous, can finish off the day strong at the $2.50. I think the race just maps perfectly for it. It was very good last time out by Signore Fox. A repeat of that sort of effort, we'll see it go very close here. As my only career, it's had 3 starts at the track for 1 placing, but I think on class it should be winning this race. It'll be hard to beat. And then number 1, Spring Charlie, who of the on-speed runners think it could be the one, could give some catching. It was disappointing at Port Macquarie in the Cup there as well, supporting that occasion. It's had a trial since where it was much better. If we can return to that sort of form we saw last preparation, it'll go close, and $10 a bit of overs there. So I've got him for second. In for third, number 10, Charitera, who is an interesting runner here for the Peter and Paul Snowden team. Its trials leading in have been really good behind Ready to Profit and discussions both at Gosford and Warwick Farm. Last preparation didn't miss a top 3 finish, so I don't expect it to do so here. Look around the likes of Kylie's, Destiny Zone, statuesquely, so there's some good, decent enough form around there to suggest this horse will run well and get into placings. And in for fourth for me, just number 6, Juventus. I'll throw it in. Should be around the mark. It was pretty good last time out at Rosehill behind Ranier in a much stronger race than Irukandji to start prior. And recent trial was not too bad either. But look, for me, keen to be with number 3, Outrageous here. I think it'll be hard to beat at the $12.50. Ahead of number 1, Spring Charlie, in for second. In for third, number 10, Charitera. And in for fourth, number 6, Juventus. Best bets of the card at Rosehill. Look, I think that I've got quite a few, to be honest. Look, I think Parada will be extremely hard to beat in race number 8, the Wink Stakes. So it's race number 8, number 1, Parada at the $2.80. I think he'll be extremely difficult to beat. And the other best bet of the card for me, look, I'm pretty keen on race number 4, number 5, Bow Ideal at the $4.40. And $1.80 the place, not too bad each way play there. Best each way value plays of the day. Look, for me, probably Chapada. I think Chapada's a good each way chance at in race number 6. I think it can be in the finish. So race number 6, number 7, Chapada at the $6.50, and race number 7, number 14, Sunlight. She's probably one of my. She could have fit in my best bets, but because she's such big odds, I'll put her in the Valley selection instead. But I'll 100% having an each way go at her. But look, good luck if you're following tomorrow. There's the Golden Eagle preview. Obviously, I've already done my Derby Day preview. Go and check it out if you haven't already done so. Thank you for all the recent support. I appreciate it a lot. Terrific day of racing, a terrific week. Hopefully we can tick it off with start it off with plenty of winners and move on into the week. So good luck if you're playing tomorrow. Good luck if you're following. And if you haven't already done so, go check out my social media channels and enjoy what will be one of the best days of racing tomorrow on the sporting calendar and the racing calendar alike.